Hi there, my name's Adi and this is my Lidl Adventuridge tent. I bought it last summer and like this summer again it's quite wet. So anyway, last week on Tuesday, it's Tuesday today, I put this tent up and it was dry, it was sunny, it was hot, it was really nice, and so I thought I'll put it up and I'll camp out in it the night after, which was Wednesday. It was nice again that night, but anyway, something happened and I couldn't camp out that night. So basically, on the Thursday, me and my friend went over to go outdoors in Wakefield, and I bought some Nikwax TX Direct to waterproof the tent, because it's not very waterproof, as most people know who've had these tents. So anyway, I got home and waterproofed it about 4 times, let it dry, waterproofed it again, did it 4 times, and since that day it has absolutely banged it down with rain. It's now Tuesday, like I said, and it's dry at the moment, but as you can see, the tent's still standing. Anyway, I wanted to make this video. This is the first video that I've made like this, and I wanted to show some of the modifications that I've done to the tent, so that other people who have these tents can maybe do the same thing. Anyway, if you look around the edges, these little loops here, I've replaced all those. Those were like bungee guys and they just looked a mess, and after a couple of nights of it being up, they just frayed away into nothing. So basically this is a guy line, like that guy line there. That's an original guy line, as is that one there, but all the rest of the ties all the way around the edge are old guy lines that have been cut to length and made into new little ties at the side. It doesn't give the tent any kind of elasticity like the originals do. There's no adjustment to it really, but they're a lot stronger and they'll last a lot longer. One of the downsides that I found to this tent, because I slept out in it on Thursday night after I waterproofed it, it's incredibly claustrophobic. That's what I found about it, and because it was raining, there was nowhere to put anything. I'll show you what I mean now. I'll open it. This is the first time I've opened it in about 3 or 4 days, since Saturday morning I think it was, so I don't actually know whether it's going to be dry inside or not. It's just a test. It looks alright. There it is. Okay, that doesn't look too bad actually. To see how hard it's rained for the last few days, it's not too bad at all. But the problem, like I said, is it gets incredibly claustrophobic. I mean, I have I have an air mattress, and I have a blow-up air mattress as well, by High Gear, I think it is. It's like one that you'd use in a pool, and it fits in here quite nicely. But if you look at that end there, it sags down. It needs something to lift it up really, or maybe something that will clip onto the fly sheet to hold it. Because this bit here, well, basically it rests on your feet like that. So I've waterproofed this bit as well, on the outside and on the inside. Now my sleeping bag is a Van Gogh Viper 500 down bag, and to tell you the truth, it didn't get wet, but for this time of year, just way too hot. Way too hot. But as you can see, it's spent 5 nights getting absolutely drowned by the rain, and it's wet on the outside, and as you can see, get close, it's beading, which is really good. Now the other modification that I made to it, I don't know if you better see it from here, no you can't really, is this centre pole here. It's split at the ends, and I believe that's a common problem. these fiberglass poles aren't very strong, and the problem with them as well is that when they do split, they well, they tend to be like very sort of splintery, and they go into your fingers, and it can be quite painful. It's like sticking a needle in your fingers. So I wrapped it round in like a spiral fashion with gaffer tape, and as you can see, it's pretty strong. I think that would probably stand up to quite a good battering. If you faced it into the wind, I think it would be quite strong. I mean, the reason why I bought this tent was I ride a Honda Hornet 600, and it doesn't have a lot of luggage space on it, and I wanted something that, if I go away with the lads, it'll be something that I can just put in a backpack, and this does fit in a backpack really easily. And I can fit my sleeping bag, my mat, all my stuff into a 40-litre rucksack. So, on the whole, it's quite a good little tent. It's just, like I said, it's a little bit claustrophobic. And I think what I might have to do is get some kind of tarp to put over the top of it. Because then you'd have some kind of porch or entranceway. Something that would be like over here, kind of thing. So you've got this space here to cook in, or to get dressed in, or anything. Because inside, I mean, people say that they can sit up in it. I mean, I'm only 5'8" and I can't sit up in it. But then again, I suppose when you pay £20 for a tent, and I've spent £30 on this tent. The guy lines I had already from an old tent that I threw away, that ripped in a storm. It was one of those pop-up tents. And the waterproofing, which should have been £21.95, I think it was, for a 2.5 litre tub with a spray attachment on it. But I only paid, I think it was £9.95, something like that, because everything that go outdoors this week is on sale. It's half price. This tripod's not very good. And then the high gear, what's it called, Lilo airbed, for choice of better words. That was, I think that was £2 off the list price, and the list price is about £12, and then there was some other discount on it or something, end of line. Anyway, I brought that home and I read the reviews on it after I bought it, like you do, and everybody slagged it down and said it leaks. So I took it outside and waterproofed it and sealed it, and hopefully it should stay up. And the whole night I was in the tent, it stayed up, and it was very comfortable. I had quite a good night's sleep actually, despite the fact that I was too hot and a little bit, like I said, a little bit claustrophobic. But anyway, these are the modifications that I've done to the tent, and it hasn't really had a real world test, as in on a hillside or in a valley or anywhere like that. This is just basically my back garden. But as you can see, it's quite a decent setting for something like this, and when the wind does blow, the wind does blow. So anyway, there you have it. That's my Lidl Adventuridge tent, and that's my little review of it. And like I said, those are the modifications I've made to it, and well, we'll find out in the next couple of weeks what it's like to sleep out in the real world. So until next time.